everybody. Today I am so excited to be welcoming one of my absolute favorite Dolly customizers. This is Irene. She is the owner and artist at Solar Senshi Dolls. Also, she is, and I want to get into this because I'm trying to figure out, the different dolls, but the creator of an original doll, Hime Hime Dolls. So, welcome, Irene. It's good to finally meet you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's
Yay.
very nice to talk to you.
Yeah, so let me
Mhm.
so back I realized that I had done a couple of reviews of the dolls that I had gotten from you in the past, and I found you on Etsy. That's how I discovered you. And I think it's what came before Instagram? What was that with the pictures?
Uh,
Flickr.
Liquor, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Gosh, remember the Flickr days? Wow. So I think I found someone had tagged you or something on Flickr, and there was something really not just beautiful about your dolls, but something very unique. You had a very unique style. And I think a lot of it came down in the beginning, for me anyway. This is 2016, let's go back to the eye chips. So I thought, wow, this is someone who is not just, I was new then, I was a newbie, not
Mhm.
just creating these beautiful doll faces, but was going that extra step, making the eye chips. And then I realized once I got my first custom that you put a lot of love and attention also into the stand and the packaging. So the whole thing was just this beautiful work of art. And it's I mean, in the scheme of dolls, I also thought the value because I don't think I'm gonna doll collectors are gonna be kicking me, but I don't think you charge enough. I honestly don't. I mean, what I get, I would just be blown away by how much love and attention you put into these works, and I easily think you could charge double. That's just between you and me.
Oh.
So I wanted to ask you a few questions. Um, the first one is about, let's start with Solar Senshi, because I'm going to
Mhm.
fangirl out a little. When did you get started? Because you've been doing this a while.
Yeah, actually Solar Senshi has always been my online name. And I remember it's because I started Tulip around 2005.
My gosh, okay, wow.
It's really early.
Yeah.
So I got really into it like a few years after, the Tulip started in 2003, I believe, right?
Hmm.
So I remember at that time my online name for basically every website was Solar Senshi, and I've never really changed it since. And as you might have guessed, it comes from Sailor Moon. Uh,
So you're
I
a
don't know.
fan.
Yeah, you have the Senshi, like the soldiers, right? And
Hmm.
I always wondered why there was not a representative of the sun. So that's why I made my own character named Solar Senshi when I
Nice.
was quite young. I don't remember how old I was when I thought of this. Yeah,
And
so 2005 was when I started.
okay, and then you must have a background professionally in art. Yes?
Um,
When did you start doing it? When did you decide, you know what, I'm just going to create beautiful custom dolls because I can?
well, I not professionally. No, I did study. Like I kind of studied in art high school.
Okay.
But I didn't continue studying art in university, so I kind of gave up on it at that point. But I've always kept it as a hobby of mine. So, and I did study a bit of design as well in university, so I kind of kept it as a hobby. I never really wanted to do it like professionally. Maybe I was too scared to do that. I'm not sure.
And yet here you are doing it professionally because I mean what you've done with your pull-up dolls, I mean every one of them is just incredible. And then this new doll, this Hime Hime, I mean this is you are doing it. And I think it's amazing that I always have this expectation that people are going to be like, "Oh, yes, I went to the best art schools in Russia and I learned only from the best." And it's so inspiring to meet somebody like you. You're like, I kicked around with it in high school and I just picked it up and I'm submitting dolls for contests and stuff. So tell me about your doll. Tell me about Hime Hime. How'd that get started?
Yeah, so I've been into Pulip for so long, and I also collect PJDs as well.
Okay.
So I've always been kind of like into dolls, and I always, had it. kind of floating around in the back of my mind. Like, wouldn't it be cool to
Ambitious.
create my own doll, right?
Yeah,
But like the process, I think it seems really daunting. Like if you look at, BJDs, like how to, you have to sculpt them and casting and everything that can go wrong, all of these
exactly.
things.
Mhm.
But recently, I don't know if you've noticed, but recently there's been this kind of huge increase in just individual doll artists, especially in Korea.
Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, I guess I have noticed an influx of photos. I mean, that's my only exposure. But yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so because I live in Asia, so around here, those kind of like Korean dolls are really, really popular. And
Oh,
they're all like small vinyl dolls. They're like about the size of Lika, like the
oh, sure.
vintage one, like
Yeah.
vintage Lika, a little bit smaller. Most of them are. And I remember a few years ago, I went to this doll party here, and like they had this really cute Korean doll called Jay Jirori,
Okay.
and they had this lottery. So if you wanted to buy one of the three of them, you had to like go in the lottery to buy them. And on impulse, I just entered the lottery and I won, and I bought this doll.
That's awesome. Oh my
It was
gosh.
it was really expensive as well, but I just fell in love with this Korean doll, and it was really cute. And ever since then, I've become kind of like addicted to looking up information about all these small artists. There's like
Yeah.
a ton of them from all over, mostly Asia, like Korea, Japan, some from China as well. So I started looking into them, and I started realizing, okay, like these small artists, they're just like one person, right? They can make a doll. So it's actually possible as an individual to do this
Yeah.
somehow. That's when I started looking into vinyl dolls, and I was like, wait a second, so this is a possibility, and that's kind of how it started.
Oh my goodness. So who did you have helping you? Did you have some support? Do you look into design? Did you have an idea for design? I mean, how do you must have had to get like patents and stuff to, I mean, like, right, trademarked faces and
um, not really. I didn't really take a professional approach, in my
okay.
in my opinion. I did it by
Okay.
myself, and I always had the idea I wanted to create a friend for Philip and Blythe because I do like big-headed dolls.
Yeah.
That's why she has a big head. And I was kind of like just doing research about like factories, and factories,
Wow.
most of them are located in China.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. So it was close to where I live, so that's convenient, but it was really hard. The first factory I dealt with actually went totally wrong. So
Oh
I wasted
no.
I wasted my savings like on the first production, which totally failed. So
Oh my goodness. But you didn't give up.
no, thankfully, actually, my mom literally borrowed me like a few $1,000 so I
Gosh.
could so I
Aw.
could pay for a new production and everything. I like my mom actually really supported me on this. Yeah, she's great.
Wow. And so how many of these dolls are typically available? How many do you make of each doll?
um, Usually I try to make them fairly unique, so most of them
Okay.
are one of a kind. I do have a recent edition that's 5 pieces of
Okay.
this similar face painting, but they're still all a bit different, so they're all slightly unique.
I did kind of notice that. The one that I really liked, actually somebody had already snagged it, but I really thought Annie was pretty.
Hmm.
And then as I'm kind of studying the pictures of these faces, I did realize like the eyes are a little bit different. Just the expressions are each a little bit different. And then I think you had either some winter ones or they were more of
Hmm.
like a pastelly. There was like a pink and a sort of a minty number. And yeah, I guess I wondered how that worked. Like, the sculpt is always the same, but you make the
Hmm.
face up a little bit different.
Yeah, right. So I really wanted to make each of them like one of a kind dolls, and
Gotcha.
I like working with artists. So
Yeah.
there's a local artist here who actually did the painting for Minty and Peachy,
Oh,
the ones you just
yeah, yeah,
mentioned.
yeah.
And I really adore her style. She does such a great job. She's way better than I am, so I rarely paint them because I'm still working on that. So
Well, don't sell yourself short, but that's fantastic though that you're actually collaborating with artists.
mhm.
Gosh, didn't think about how. I mean, I've thought about, well, what would it be like to design your own doll or create. I didn't take into account just being kind of near some of these resources would give you, I don't know, at least a tiny boost, even though I know it was still difficult. But wow, I mean, that's a real feat. I mean, that's something to be super proud of.
Thank you. Yeah, and it was a really difficult process. There were so many things. I wouldn't know how I would do them like in another country because like
Yeah.
importing things and like paying an agent
Mm.
for importing things for you and everything like that. It costs a lot more than you would think,
Yeah.
and it's really complicated. So, but finally, I'm very happy that I have my little head right now.
That's amazing. So, what's next for you? I mean, what can you give us like a little sneak peek of like the rest of the year, next year? What are your
um,
ambitions?
well, I was hoping this year or the beginning of next year to have a mocha skin, Hime.
Ooh,
So
yay!
yeah, it's my absolute favorite skin tone. So like I
Too.
know Azone, I use Azone bodies
Mm,
and they
they're
basically
fab.
only come in three skin tones, but they
Yeah,
release mocha skin, so I'm
I
very happy
saw
with
that.
that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that color. It's really nice.
Okay, well, listen, like I said, I've been a fan for years. I think you're incredible. I will say that I've just noticed from 2016 to now how much you have evolved as an artist and seeing you come out with this original doll has just been really inspiring. And I can't wait to see what you come out with next. Anyway, so I will let you get to it. It's actually pretty early here. What time is it there?
8:15 p.m.
Okay, that's not too bad. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
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 okay.
morning here. But anyway, I'll let you get to it. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And to check out Solar Senshi, what is the best place to get you? Is it on Etsy?
Yeah, you can check me out on Etsy,
Okay.
Instagram, Facebook, Hime Hime Dolls as
Okay.
well.
All right. Yeah, I'll
So
put all the links in the description. But thanks you guys for joining us, and thank you, Irene, for hanging out with us for a little bit talking dolls.
thank you so much, Angela.
Bye. All right, let me shut this off.